you can tell from the beginning of the video, I am back with another interior installation for the 11th gen Honda Civic. Mixstore Accessories was kind enough to send me their Android Premium head unit. We're gonna install it in blue today. Big shout out to Mixstore for sponsoring this video. And they were also kind enough to send me their 360 backup camera. Main reason being is because you cannot use the factory backup camera with this head unit. All links will be down in the description. They also gave me a discount code for you, 717 project. Use that at checkout for, I think it's 10-15% off. I'm not sure which one. But hey, at least you get something off, right? But I haven't even unboxed it to see what it looks like. Why don't we do that first? We're gonna start off with the camera. Gave me a couple stickers. Obviously I threw them on the boxes for the thumbnail. Here's all the wiring for the camera. Let me open it up. Looks like it's quite a bit, but we gotta go from the rear to the front, so we need quite a bit. All right, let's start with the little one first. We got some screws and some little brackets, it looks like, some bushings, and a hole saw. Here is all the wiring. This is a lot, and you know me, I'm not the wiring guy, but I'm gonna give it a try. Obviously, a 360 camera, I don't know why I thought it was just the rear. We have 4 separate cameras that we're gonna have to hook up. Now let's look at the head unit. We got all of our plugs, all of our adapters, everything we need right here. And it looks like we have even more. Stock head unit, aftermarket head unit. Pretty decent difference if I say so myself. No knobs on this one and no buttons. Bunch of knobs and a bunch of buttons on this one. After looking at it, there isn't very many mount points for that, so I'm gonna have to remove these and these. And I don't know if I can remove these. I don't think I'm gonna be able to. But I should be able to just take these little clips off and put them on the new one. Google Translate, and a half hour later, I figured out where all the wires go. So the main black harness goes right in here. There is another white harness that is attached to that. That goes in this box right here. There is also a little green harness right here that jumps from one to the other, which is fairly easy. Now all these gray, there's 3 of them. See if I can snag this little one. These 3 grays go to the factory main harnesses. Now the head unit is face down exactly how it would be in the car. The cameras go over here, attached by an RCA cable, which is attached to the gray one there. And then you have your USB here. There is 2 of them, a 2-pronger and a 3-pronger. And then the little one off of these 2 white wires goes here. All the cameras that get plugged in go right here, and then all the RCAs for aftermarket stereos, which we'll be doing here in a couple weeks, so I will be removing this again, go right here. There is a little button, I have no idea what it does, but there is a little button here, which I'll figure that out as I go on. The GPS gets plugged in here, and the 4G gets plugged in right here. Now there is a plug here for the fan, and I'm assuming that goes into the car factory to run the fan to keep it cool. But other than that, everything's in. Back to the factory head unit, I need to remove these 2 brackets on either side and mount them on either side of the new head unit. You're not going to be able to remove these, but what we are going to do is we're going to remove these. That way it clips back in the front. No. No. Where'd it go? It flew away. No. Okay, it didn't fall back into the head unit. That's good. Ah, there it is. Yay. And we'll attach these little clips again. We're ready to throw this in the car. First thing we have to do though is we have to run our backup camera. And you might say, Miller, well, what about all the other cameras? Well, I'm glad you asked, because there's no need to drill holes in my factory mirrors. Well, I'm just getting new mirrors anyway. In fact, they are on the way. Mixtor was kind enough to send me their lane assist mirrors with tinted glass. Now, I do have to remove the glass to put the tinted glass in it. And while I'm doing that, I might as well just drill the holes then, right? Plus, I also have to run wiring, so why do it twice if I don't have to? And I'm gonna wait to throw the front camera in at that point. That way, I can just do it all at once. But I do want the backup camera because I don't have one right now, other than the one coming from my dash camera. There are 3 wires that we're not gonna hook up. We're not gonna hook up these 3 USBs. I'm not sure why they have 3 USBs, but I don't need them. If you need them, go ahead and install them, but for me, I'm good. Next thing on the agenda is I need to start taking the trunk apart because I gotta remove the factory rear camera. This one is supposed to go right in a spot, shouldn't be a problem. So I gotta take out all the clips back here and run the wire up to the front. I'm gonna go on the passenger side because I already have a ton of wires under the dashboard, under the driver's side, and I don't want any more if I don't need them. I almost forgot my golden rule. We're gonna hook this up first before I run any more wires because I gotta make sure this thing works first. This is how I'm running the wire for the backup camera. Pull the weather strip off, pop this side panel off, and then it accesses all this. And you already have access all through here. So I have a very long zip tie, which I tape the end of the wire to, and I just fed it through this hole, the whole way up underneath until I got it coming out of here. Now, the only thing I need to make sure of is that I don't have the wire interrupting this vent. It can fall right over top, and then I'll just tuck all the wires down through there, down the pillars, and the whole way back the car. Time to plug everything in and make sure it works. I hope we don't have any problems. Now for the Wi-Fi and the GPS, I literally did the exact opposite of how I ran the backup camera wire and ran it out this way. As you can tell, the Wi-Fi, I think I'm probably gonna push it back here and stick it back here. And the GPS I'm gonna put up in the right-hand corner of the windshield. Now I've already tested the head unit out. It does work. I messed with it for about 30 seconds. So before I button everything back up, let's test it out. While I'm just messing around here in the background, let me go over some of the details with this, and then we'll go through all the settings and the functions. But this is the premium aftermarket head unit for a Mazda and a Honda. This will replace your stock head unit to a new one. 2K Ultra HD resolution, 10.2 QLED Ultra Clear Wide touchscreen, powered by the latest Android 12 OS with split screen mode, Octa 8-core processor, 64 by 128 gigabytes, internal memory, and 4 by 8 gigabytes of RAM. You can download apps via the Play Store, Netflix, Disney+, Spotify, Waze, Facebook, and many more. Connection via USB, GPS, 4G antenna, Bluetooth 5.0, and even Wi-Fi. With wireless CarPlay and wired Android Auto, functional steering wheel buttons, built-in amp and DSP for better sound output, and for Mazdas, this can be installed in any models with or without Mazda Connect. And for Hondas, this can be installed in any models. Plug-and-play installation for both, and optional TPMS and 360 camera features. Now, the most important part of this, the factory reverse camera is not supported once upgraded, so you need to purchase an extra reverse camera or the 360 panoramic camera if you want to retain the function. Do not, I repeat, do not buy both. All right, now that we're done with that, let's get into the meat. As you can see, I'm connected via Bluetooth. I'm just kind of looking around, and that's what I'm going to be doing this whole time. I'm just going to be bouncing around through all kinds of stuff because there is actually a ton to go over. Here you have your regular radio settings. Click what you want, pick what you want. It's all there. You got your band, FM2, FM3, AM1, AM2. Then you can change, pick your stations, whatever you want to do. Now here you have a 3D version of your car. It'll tell you what doors are open. As you can see right there, I shut the left front door. You can switch the angles. It's all pretty cool. Now, when all the cameras are hooked up, you'll be able to see the outside of all of that, which I'm actually looking forward to when I actually get all the cameras hooked up. Now, at the end of this, you will see the backup camera hooked up. And then you can go in and you can change color, angle, you can do, it's ridiculous how much stuff you can do to this. So I'm not going to go over quite everything, but let me just tell you, you can see it on the screen here. There is so much to look at, so many settings you can change, add, whatever. It's literally crazy what this thing can do. You can change the brightness, you can change the contrast, you can change, whatever shadows it looks like, and that is per camera too. That's not just all of them, that's per camera. Here's the split screen. As you can see, the radio is the back, and then the smaller screen was the car. Now, it's just like your phone. You can go to the top, you can swipe down, you have Wi-Fi, data, you name it. And then you go back to the home screen. Now, this is what the home screen looks like. You have music there, you have the car with kilometers, which you can change that. Or you have your apps at the bottom. Point into the music settings. Now, I don't have any music. You go to your files. You can pick all kinds. It's utterly ridiculous. Look at the top. You have your apps, your photos, whatever. These are the pictures they have internally for the background. I'm just going to rock the wheel for now until I upload my own. They also have 2 4K videos that you can watch if you want to. Only have 22.8 gigs taken up of the 128 gigs, so I got quite a bit left. You got your storage manager, photos, you name it. Then you have your apps. You can delete apps here, you can stop them, you can force stop them, you can disable them, you can do whatever you want to do with them. USB video output settings, USB device start, then you can press any key to start it, you can auto start the navigation, you could OSD time, mute audio in reverse, sound reduced when you go into reverse, backlight control, bunch of defaults, sound mixing scale, launch app settings, lantern settings, steering wheel settings, nav app settings. We're going to go into the steering wheel settings real quick. They're all null for some reason. I'm not really going to mess with them because all of the steering wheel functions work for me, so I'm not even going to mess with that. As you can see here, I'm going up and down on the volume from the steering wheel. Now, a lot of you might not like that it gets rid of the knobs. Me, personally, I really don't care. Now, you can pick which one that you want on the main screen. I was going to put YouTube there, but then I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to put Waze there. Your sound mixing scale settings, backlight control on and off, and in the factory, you can put in a password code, which we will do here in a little bit. User tells you your location, security, language. I still haven't hooked up my Google account yet. Language and output, backup and reset, account, delay power on and off, application settings, date and time. I'm in the 24-hour format right now. I'm going to change that to 12. Accessibility. Text to speech, magnification, a couple other things. Then we'll hop back to the main screen. We'll look at the apps real quick. Now, as you can see, I should just put that app there at the bottom right-hand corner onto the main screen. I'm not hooked up to Wi-Fi yet, so I'm going to hook up to the Wi-Fi here real quick.
As you can tell here, we got Netflix up. I'm just gonna scroll through it here real quick. If you haven't watched The Witcher, that's awesome. That Formula One Drive to Survive is killer. If you're a race fan, Last Kingdom's awesome. All right, now I want to go back to I want to go to YouTube. But before I can do that, you can clear the cache out just like you would a cell phone. All right, let's go to YouTube. Let's check out the channel in the car, which I find this pretty crazy that this can be done. I don't know why I do, but you know, it's just kind of odd. There's my channel. You know, a lot of you guys have checked it out, and I really appreciate it. For you folks that are new here, then you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, do me a favor. If you watch more than 3 or 4 of my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Ding dong that bell so you get notified of every time I upload a video. But here is the last video I uploaded, the lights video. If you haven't watched that, make sure to go check that out, because that light show is pretty interesting, especially when you see it in person. All right, so let's go back to factory. We're gonna put in the passcode 3368, and this opens up some other things that you can do. Touch check, like you can make sure the whole screen is working. The original car agreement. You have external temperatures. Automatic start and stop, which I hate that. Radar display, on and off. Reverse parking line. Static trace. Reversing track reversal, which is reversing track reversal. I don't even know what that is. That's weird. Max reverse angle. I don't know what that is either. Door on and off. Driver's door position. I'm just gonna leave that on left. Rear door exchange. Not sure what that is either. AC information. Car audio type. Reversal, previous, and next. I don't know what that is either. Reversal volume. Protocol print. I don't have no idea. Temperature switch. And it's prompting me. It says CAN data upgrade mode will take about 10 minutes. I'm not even going to bother with that. I mean, like I said, folks, there is a ton of settings in this thing. This thing does practically everything your phone would do for the most part, but I think a lot more. And if I remember correctly, which we'll go over this in another video because I'm not going to be finishing this video off today, I think it actually records. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it records all cameras. I don't know if it's at all times or not. So could you use this as a 360 dash camera all the time? I have no idea. But then you can change your startup screen. I'm just gonna use the Android. You can set screen temperature, color, whatever. It's like I said, this thing is ridiculous. Break wire for video and emotion. Front view, cancel the reverse and front view, local radar switch, MCU panel key, unknown sources, door lock interface, reverse power supply, volume balance settings, MCU upgrade. So it has a Marvel Cinematic Universe upgrade? I know it. I know that's not what that means. USB error detection, USB protocol selection, a key to export, single 360, switch backup cam, inner 360, activation, DVD update. I mean, TV type, video output settings, OBD, sleep mode, 360 switch. I can't go over what all these things are with you because I honestly probably don't know what 20% of them are. So here I have connected to Android Auto. You go to that Cars 2.0, it prompts you to here. You can do a lot of things just like you would normally do with an Android Auto. It'll put all your music apps onto the screen. So you don't necessarily have them initially, but when you go to Android Auto, they're all there. So here you can see I'm on Spotify. I'm changing through songs, my playlist. It has all the stuff that I would normally have on my phone is on the screen. Here's some contacts, previous phone calls I've had. Here's the map. Here's where I am, where I was. So those of you who have used Apple CarPlay, Android, unfortunately I can't show you CarPlay right now because I don't have an Apple device, but here is Android Auto. Just know that your CarPlay would work. Then I backed out and went to the Equalizer app. And this thing is, you can do amazing things with this. I messed around with it for a little bit just to figure out what kind of sound I wanted to come out of the car. It's awesome. I'm going to play you a quick sound clip. Now, the video will not do this any justice. It never really does when it comes to bass and audio trying to come through in a video. Now remember, I have 4 6.5 Alpines in the doors and the 4 tweeters. I plug the backup camera in just to make sure that it works before I run it the whole way back the car. And as you can see my smiling little, well, I guess I'm not smiling here, but you can see me perfectly fine. Now I do still have the film on the lens. I mean, you can see it right there in the camera right now. So the camera works perfectly fine. I'm just hoping all the other ones do too if I spend the time to run all of them, which I will do in a future video in the next couple weeks.
All I can say is, I'm not surprised, but yet at the same time, I'm extremely surprised. I did not think the audio quality was gonna be that good. The factory head unit, you might as well throw that thing in the trash. You need this. If you have a Sport, I think an EX, I don't think the EX comes with the touring radio. Now you touring folks, you should probably be okay, unless you want the 360 camera, and I don't know if yours has all the options that this one has. The 6.5 Alpines I have in the car, they sounded okay with the factory head unit, but oh my goodness, they sound exactly like they probably should with this head unit. I am blown away by the sound quality out of this head unit. Like, it's crazy. And just let me tell you, now that it sounds that good, yeah, there's subs imminent. I think I'm gonna put some 10s in it. 2 10s. 2 10s. Which, actually, what do you guys think? Should I go 2 10s, 2 12s? I want bass, but I don't want like rattle my brain type bass, but I want bass. So that's why I was kind of going the 10 route. Let me know what size and what brand you think I should go with. I was kind of leaning towards kicker, but let me know what you think in the comments below. We are not done yet. I still have to run the rear camera, but if you are enjoying this video, you know what to do. There's quite a few of these red wires that are attached to these other wires. I thought I was gonna have to use these, but when I put it in reverse, it comes on. So now there was a little bit of a delay, but either way, when I put the car in reverse, the camera came on. And I thought I would have to tap into the reverse wire with this, but I don't think I have to. I just taped them all off. There are 3, there's 3 behind the head unit. I did the same thing. I just taped it off because honestly, I don't know where they would go. I have no idea. So I'm just gonna do the same thing with this one. And then when I hook up the other cameras, I'm just kind of gonna do the same thing. It might be different for the Mazdas. Now, this head unit does fit in certain Mazdas too. These might be for them. They gave us 2 bags just like this with a couple screws in them and then this little mounting bracket. I'm assuming this mounting bracket will be for the front when we get to the front in a couple weeks, but for the backup, I was only able to get 1 screw in there. It's just, as you can probably see it, there's 2 open holes here, there's a little gap right there, and I only got the 1 screw in there. Now, what little the instructions do tell you, they tell you to glue this in there. I'm gonna be honest, that 1 screw, I think isn't moving anywhere. So I'm actually just gonna leave it alone unless I need to mess with it later, because I'm gonna have to pull that trunk cover off again here in a couple weeks. I got some new taillights to install to show you guys. I think you'll really like them. But I'm gonna let this go for now. I recommend if you do have like hot glue or something, maybe hot glue this back here just to keep the water out. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that right now. You do have to pull this plastic trim down because you need to get this out from behind it. And what you do, you can just clip it back in. This does sit underneath, so just fold it a little bit and you can tuck it right back underneath the tail light there. I need to finish this. So I already have some zip ties here. I'm going to cut these off. I'm going to run this wire up and then I will re-zip tie them all back together again. Let's start her up, make sure everything is a-okay. Go into reverse. There we go. Now it is quite a bit of a delay, 3-4 seconds, not horrible. But if you're in a pinch and you gotta go, just remember that there is a little bit of a delay, it seems. You can change some things, brightness, contrast, that kind of stuff. Dislocation and bump, you can change. Yeah. All right, let's finish buttoning it up. A couple things to do yet, and we're done.